How did you get it?
Did you send it to me in a message
I sent
or an
it
email? Let me check. Sorry. Yes, nope, I have it, so, all right. I will do so, and then yes, if there is something you're just like, don't want to do that, just tell me skip it, I'll skip it. Easy peasy.
Easy candy.
Easy candy.
Easy candy.
So yeah, appreciate you, buddy.
All right, here we go.
All right, so we're recording, so you're good to go whenever.
All right, hello, everybody. Today is Thursday, October 30th, 2025. I now call this meeting of the Madison College Student Senate General Assembly to order at 4:33 p.m. Thank you very much. And at this time, I would like to say welcome to the General Assembly of the Madison College Student Senate. This is a public meeting and will be recorded for transparency and direct conversations. We're going to cover a few basic items before beginning. If you lose connection at any point during the meeting, you can reconnect by clicking the link or calling the number in the original email. To the senators and other members online, please activate your video and keep it on for the duration of the meeting. If it is possible, use the raise hand feature when you'd like to be recognized to speak, ask questions, or request a roll call as chair. As to call on committee members, the order in which hands are raised, lowering your hands if you have the cue. And at this time, I'd like to ask for a roll call, please.
Sure. Starting with our Executive Council, President Jose Villarreal,
I'm here and present.
Vice President Administration and Finance Quinn Matson, present. Vice President Legislative Affairs Bradley Burt.
Present.
Thank you. Vice President Team Development Corey Sertzel.
Present.
Thank you. Vice President Public Relations Ari Nichols.
Present.
Thank you. And Advisor Cole Caliocrado.
Present.
Thanks. Moving on to our general senators. Do I have Senator Sanjay Jagadish?
Excuse me.
Excused, thank you. Senator Annette Crowder.
Present.
Thank you. Senator Ashley Larson.
Present.
Senator Nandine Batulga.
Present.
Thank you. Senator Ayman Adam Sharafuddin.
Present.
Thanks. Senator Ash Rogers.
Present.
Thank you. Senator Donovan Juarez.
Present.
Thank you. Senator Abri Holty.
Present.
Senator Ida Wilmo.
Present.
Thank you. And Senator Sierra Brunner.
Present.
Thank you. Moving on to regional and metro campuses. Do I have Portage Senator John McCray?
Present.
Thank you. Reedsburg Senator Furkan Sindar.
Not on line.
Okay, noted. Goodman South Senator Bethany Bauer.
Excuse.
Excused, yes. Thank you.
So,
We have met quorum.
All right, so, and with meeting quorum, we'll now move into the first order of business. We would approve the previous meeting minutes, and I will read them out for you. We had a standard GA meeting October 23rd. We did have some guest speakers. One of them was our district board representative, Hassan, and then we also had Nathan Dowd, director of the Libraries and Academic Support Services. They both gave us some pretty good information that resonated, and we had team building activity. Senator Sindar was a very interesting one. Thank you for that one. That was one I will remember. And we had disclosures and recusals. Senator Rogers recused themselves from voting on Resolution 001 as an officer of the GSA. We have reports from officers, advisors, and standing committees. We did have a little bit of reports from special and select committees. We had reports from regional and metro campuses. Reports from College Assembly and Shared Governance Council. We had an open finished business. We had quite a bit of new business. Resolution 001, safety and belonging. We had some announcements. Then we adjourned with the motion passing 7 days, 1 day, and 9 abstains. With the minutes being read, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
You have to recognize there was a point of order made online by VP Burt. So you have the ability to rule on it. I guess I missed what it was for, so you can reach out, you can call upon VP Burt to identify the point of order.
Yep, you're recognized, VP Burt.
Would you like me to speak?
You are recognized, you have the floor.
Sure. I just made point of order. I heard misgendered, referred to Senator Rogers as him.
I said,
There you go. Yep, Vice President Quinn Mattson.
if there was any misgendering, my apologies.
We will let the record reflect that we will amend the record. We do apologize and we withdraw any misgendering. That satisfy the your Vice President Brett Bradley?
Yes, thank you.
Understood. With that being said, and with that amendment, what would be amendments? No. Well, with that being said, and with the minutes being read, I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes. A motion made by Vice.
No, I have a comment.
Comment?
I'd like, I guess I don't think this would actually go in there, but I would want it to be noted that the voting record in that minutes
Okay.
will, like, not be applied since we have to re-vote on the bill.
Yeah, so, I think what they call me.
Was that Colin?
Advisor Cole, you recognize?
Yeah, so for the process, what will occur is that in these minutes here, it will be clear identification as to the revote that will take place. That will state why the previous one had to be redone. So that'll be clearly stated in these minutes as to why.
Great, sound good?
Yes.
With that being said,
Yeah, I'll motion.
motion made by Vice President Nichols, seconded by Vice President Corey Sturzel. I'd open it up for discussion. Seeing none, hearing none, so take the vote, unanimous consent. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Motion's passed, the minutes were passed. Now we can move into reading and approval of the meeting agenda.
Just hold on one second. Sorry for Connor's reaching out to me. I'm just trying to make sure I understand the situation here.
We'll take a quick little minute.
My apologies. All right, agenda. It's here.
All right.
My apologies.
So for the agenda, we have a couple guest speakers, public comment. We have Carrie FM, the Director of Academic Advising. It's very nice for you to come and see us. And we have the Dean of Students, Geralda Cruz, Associate Vice President. And we have Heather Smith, Manager, Dean of Students and Disability Resource Services. We have a pretty good meeting to get to, folks. We do have a team building activity from our Vice President that came back from World Medical Leave, Vice President Sturzel. So thank you for coming back and helping us build more of a team here. Right? We have reports in officers, advisory standing committees, reports from special and select committees. We have reports from regional and metro campuses. And we would have reports from college assembly and shared governance. We do have unfinished business. We have the revote for resolution 001. Vice President Ari Nichols mentioned earlier. We don't have any new business that's, that we know of right now.
Yeah, there's nothing that has come across to me at this moment.
Understood. We have any non-business, any housekeeping. We do have an announcement on when our next meeting will be and what room it will be, and then we will have an adjournment. With that being read out, I would entertain a motion. Motion made by Vice President Corey Sturzel to approve the agenda, seconded by Senator Crowder. Open it up for discussion. Any online? Seeing none, hearing none, I'll take a vote. Unanimous consent in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The motion is passed. The agenda has been passed, and with that, we will go right into public comment from Carrie FM, Director of Academic Advice.
You'll need me to stand.
No, it's up to you. The camera is there, so it will pick up your voice. It just may not see you. So if there's specific things you'd like me to point out, just tell me and I can move my cursor over onto it.
Okay.
So allow me to pull this time out because it's going to do this backwards on me. Here we go.
Thank you for pulling that forward. I appreciate it. And thank you all for letting me come and chat with you. I wanted to share some updates about academic advising that I thought you and other students might find relevant and important to you all as you continue your journey with academic advising. So one of those updates is I just wanted to let you know it's more of an internal process, but giving you some background, we have transitioned as of this summer to what's called a career pathway model. For anyone who has recently come out of the K-12 system, you're probably very familiar with the career pathway modeling that you lived and breathed in school as you identified a pathway that you might be interested in. We have deployed that within academic advising to keep some consistency in language and understanding, because we know career pathways and journeys are becoming much more critical to our students. And so we wanted to better align our service with those needs. So we have identified using a lot of data and research, national and local. We have identified 10 pathways within academic advising, and then we've aligned our academic programs to those pathways and also advisors who work within those program areas. So as you are assigned to an advisor, you are assigned based on program within the pathway structure. Before, not that it's necessarily directly impacted you, but before it was based more on pods, what we called pods, and they were directly linked to schools and programs in the schools. So advisors have gone through, we started this conversation a year ago. Advisors have gone through some significant cross-training to identify areas of need so that advisors within the pathways know the programs within those pathways. So as you students may shift your program, as we know happens, if you stay within programs within the same pathway, ideal state, future state, not current, but future state is that you would be able to stay with the same advisor. So let me give you an example. Ideal state, again, it's not possible in our current systems, unfortunately, but we are working with Workday Student to look at developing this further. If one of you started in radiography, let's say, you changed your mind and wanted to go to nursing, those programs are in the same career pathway. You would be able to stay with the same advisor. Current state is that you would change advisors because they are different programs with different assigned advisors. So we're trying to keep that continuity to improve your sense of connection with an individual as a resource and as a go-to, and also help build our awareness of your needs as students. So that's what that bottom bullet point is alluding to. I also just wanted to share with you that we have now embedded the university transfer. You may be familiar with that under liberal arts transfer was its previous name. It transitioned recently to university transfer, and the pre-majors like economics and business, pre-health, those are what the pre-majors are. All those university transfer programs are now embedded within the pathways. So as the advisors have been training to learn programs, they're also learning about those university transfer programs. We have also deployed, we've been really busy. We've also deployed a proactive advising model. And we've done that, as it says, very intentionally to try to be more in alignment with you as students, your career and your transfer goal needs, and to try to develop those relationships with you earlier and maintain them through your longevity here at the institution. So we have also worked to strengthen collaboration across both our career and employment areas, as well as transfer and of course advising. Again, trying to be not only proactive but holistic in helping you make those vital connections, and how can we as advising be your conduit to those resources. So again, it is hoped, it is our anticipation with you in the center of all this, that we are able to enhance your connectivity. So earlier connection to those resources, future aspiration through Workday Student is to assign earlier than what you all probably experienced, meaning you weren't assigned your advisor until you were enrolled and the semester starts. What I am hoping to do is that we can assign at the point of matriculation. So that means at the point you completed your application materials, we would assign you. So from that point forward, you would be able to connect with someone, not have to wait to find out who your advisor is until you were enrolled. We are also looking at deploying, and we have built it. We just, again, technology needs. We're looking at deploying what we're calling Madison College SOAR, which is a new student onboarding system process. We very intentionally use the term SOAR because if any of you are planning to transfer, I like your head nod. You know that if you're planning to transfer to a UW, they all use the language SOAR. So we are trying to, again, make sure that we are preparing you as best we can for some common language, some common understanding as we want you to be successful at your next institution, which includes that SOAR. So we're still working through a little bit on that. And we'll still have the advising and registration events, A&R events that we have had for a while, the group events. When we are able to go to this SOAR model, part of our interest is to have one-on-one advisor-student appointments rather than a big group setting, because that is something that we've heard from you all through surveys like the student satisfaction inventory that you are interested in, and it would be beneficial. So as it mentions here, we will hopefully deploy that new student MC SOAR starting in, I think, fall 2027 admits, meaning once a student is admitted to the fall 2027 term. And that this would include not only talking about your career and your academic goals, but also helping you select courses leading to those goals. I mentioned the student satisfaction inventory, SSI. We also, as a college, about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, paid for a very significant study. Maybe some of you are a part of it through KW2. It's a focused research group here in Madison, and really helped us hone in on your voice, your interest, and that's why we developed the one-on-one 1-hour appointments. And we have also built a course, for lack of better, in Brightspace to help you become familiar with our systems, our processes, our policies. Get all that taken care of before you come and have that really critical conversation with an advisor. With this, we needed to make some shift. If we feel we do a better job of onboarding you and getting you the vital information you need in a timely way and in a way that you can consume it in chunks, it isn't just a one and done. You can go back through Brightspace and read about how to log into your My Madison College portal, whatever you need, you can go back and do that. That we're hoping we will have done a better job of getting you that information, improved access to that information, so you will feel more well-equipped to manage going forward, so that when we meet with you as a continuing student, we don't need to go over the same information again. You'll already have that information and feel more successful. So we can spend a half an hour with you focused on your top 2-3 questions in that moment, or completing the transfer contract. So being much more intentional about meeting your specific needs in that moment. You can schedule those if you're not familiar now, because you will see only your assigned advisor through Navigate. You can schedule right through that with your assigned advisor, or you can call our Student Success Center colleagues and they can help you with that. You can also use Navigate if you aren't familiar to connect with any member of your care team. Your care team includes your advisor, your success coach, faculty advisors if you have them. And I thought this was very interesting, and I want to honor that from your voices. The SSI research has showed us over the years, not only do you value advising, you place more importance on advising. And so all these things are really you-centered, student-centered, and those shifts are about how can we better serve you as individuals. That's my information. If you have any questions, if something percolates up for you after tonight, feel free to reach out to me. I just beg for your forgiveness. It may take me a few days to get back to you, but I will get back to you.
Thank you very much, Carrie. And with that, I will open up the floor for discussion. Any questions in person or online? All right, I saw Senator Larson.
Hi,
Hi.
thanks so much for coming. I just wanted to say, I think it's a great idea to establish a better connection with the advisor and student, and so having that kind of relationship start sooner than later, I think is a fantastic idea, and I think it would really help the students in their academic performance, as long with other things. So yeah,
Thank you. I'm taking notes. I hope that's okay.
of course.
Vice President Sirzul.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys coming out and presenting this. This is very exciting news, especially just for me being in a biotech, more specific field. I have found that general advisors have been maybe having a disconnect with essentially my program, even though they have access to it. The director, so I'm glad I was able to contact my director, but I'm sitting at a position where I'm gonna have to take another year on. So I think there is just like a lack of transparency between program directors, more specialized programs, especially those like the technician programs or the lab technician or NLP. Those are specific programs that are designed and you have to take specific classes at a specific time. I'm just curious how we would improve that transparency so that we can make sure that those specialized programs have the best fit for them. Because I worry that if we are getting assigned a general advisor, we might not be connected to somebody that might be lacking the transparency between their program director.
So thank you for the questions. I think I just want to take your latter comment and work kind of backwards.
Yeah.
You would not get assigned, a student would not get assigned to a generalist
Okay.
unless you're at one of our branch campuses.
Okay.
And our advisors at those campuses, like Portage, Watertown, are considered generalists, so they are expected to understand all the programs, which is,
Right.
really wild to think about.
Right.
But otherwise, you would have an advisor who is specialized in your particular biotech, for example, program, and would be trained in that program.
Right.
How can we better enhance transparency? We continue to try to manage and maintain that by keeping critical contact with the program directors, the primary faculty, the deans, the associate deans. So I'm hearing that we need to continue to emphasize that and provide more opportunity for the advisor to do some training. Would that be an accurate reflection?
Yeah, that would be accurate. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Vice President Arnold.
Yeah, so this actually, Corey actually reminded me of this, so I thank you for that, because this is a complaint we've heard from students before about advisors not being clear on sort of course load and then approaching their advisors later and realizing that they have not in fact met certain requirements that they were supposed to meet within that year. So that could be with what courses were supposed to be taken, with the amount of credits they were supposed to take, just simple issues like that. And so I'm wondering if there is, and obviously this addresses it partly, but I wonder if there's going to be any sort of planning to specifically address, clear communication between advisor and student, and sort of working on a way in a simplified language so that students that may not really understand these kinds of things can sort of, break it down and say, okay, I understand what they're talking about now, and I'm able to sort of, better prep myself.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. I think one thing we've already done to strive towards that is, and this is what I'm hoping that the new SOAR model will also help with, is that we want to make sure y'all know how to access your degree progress report, because that lays out very clearly the courses that you need, when you need to take them, etc. So that's one thing we're hoping to influence. The other thing is we in advising have created what we've called the academic advising roadmap. At some institutions, you will hear it called an advising syllabus. We thought that language was very higher ed language. It's not typical speak. So we called it a roadmap that maps out all the different steps that a student would have to take. As a part of that, then we also developed a 2-semester academic plan to start the journey, your journey as a student, as successfully as we can for 2 semesters, because we know that your plans may change, your objectives may change. So we've tried to, and I'm hopeful that those things will all help in addressing some of that need. I think it's also important to recognize it's a partnership, right? Advising and student is a partnership, and so if we don't have mutual clear understanding, there's going to be some confusion. So being sure that as you all are meeting with your advisor, if you can't be full-time, or if you don't understand what full-time means, speaking for yourself, advocating for yourself, so then we can be in a much better position to support you. So it's relational, and that's why we're doing the model that we are doing now. I hope that helps address. We can always do better, right?
Right.
Any organization or part of an organization can do better, and that's what we're striving towards. We'll keep working on it.
Oh, thank you. That's a very, very good answer, actually. Said everything I wanted to hear.
All right, my work here is done.
Senator Rogers.
My question is on the actual implementation of it. Do you know how many students want to do it, how they're going to hear about it? Do you have the personnel for all the new students that might be wanting to do it since they'd be doing it earlier? And then what incentives would students have to do a Brightspace course? Since I know I had one of those when I first joined and I didn't actually do it. So I'm wondering what that looks like on your end. And then is there anything that we should do to help tell students about it?
Oh, speaking to my heart. Can you tell me what it is when you are referencing it? What is that? You've mentioned.
SOAR, I think, right?
Are you specifically mentioning the SOAR model?
Yeah, the
or
advising where you are doing the earlier advising for students.
Okay.
SOAR, yeah.
So I'm trying to remember all your pieces there. We've already been working with our communication team at the college. There's a communication team that works with helping students come on board to Madison College. And so we've worked through several, but that's the one I'm referencing. We've already started working with them to try to make sure our materials are clear and concise. And so hopefully that will help early inform students that you are assigned to an advisor earlier, but before you can meet with them, you must do this SOAR piece. In an effort to try not to have your experience, we are looking at making that a requirement, that students complete that onboarding, that Brightspace course, so that they have a clear understanding of that before they transition to have that one-on-one, let's get into the meat and potatoes of it, of here's your program, here's your classes, is this what you're still thinking? What is your plan for transfer? Because that can change the conversation. So we may, I hate to say it, but force somebody like your experience not to happen. Because we know through studies, through all these studies we've had, you all have told us it's important, okay? And we're seeing through data that it's important. students who went through an A&R or had one of those early outreach are much more likely to successfully complete their journey. So we would be remiss if we didn't try to figure out a way to give that to everybody. So we're trying to figure out those nuances. How can we prevent you from missing out on a critical step to your experience? Did I get all of them?
Definitely, thank you.
Okay, active listening, go.
Vice President Quinn Mattson, our last question.
When you say you connect, you plan to connect students with their advisors really early on when they're first applying, is that is that academic advisor or is that career advisor? I met with advisors for like the first semester and a half.
Yeah.
With academic advisors before I realized that I didn't need advice on how to follow this path. I needed to talk to a career advisor who could help me figure out if that's what I actually wanted. I guess, yeah, which advisors are meeting with people early on?
Thank you for asking that question. So I'm referencing academic advising. That's who I represent. In Career and Employment Services, which is across from the cafeteria, there are just a couple of advisors that can help support students when they raise their hand and seek help. So they are not assigned to students.
Okay.
Academic advisors are assigned. If you're in a RISE program, so let's say TRIO, if any of you are TRIO program students, you're assigned a TRIO advisor. There's several different advisors across the institution that you will see in your Navigate and in your student portal as assigned to you. So when I'm here speaking, I'm only speaking of academic advisors, the professional academic advising team that you would get assigned to. Hopefully, as this continues to manifest, and even now, if you were to say, hey, Carrie FM, I'm really not sure that molecular biology is right for me anymore. I'm really thinking I want to be a vet tech. But I'm not 100% positive. That part of our conversation would be, I would encourage you to go talk to, let me go introduce you to Career and Employment Services. Maybe we can do an assessment or get you in a workshop. So it's more organic than an assignment.
Okay.
Is that a fair
Yeah,
answer?
no, I appreciate what you had to share.
For sure.
Any other questions or comments? I would just ask to email. If that's fine.
Carrie FM,
Yeah.
that's me.
Well, thanks so much for being here.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Geraldo's there.
And if the Dean of Students is ready, he will have the floor next. Geraldo Vera Cruz, Associate Vice President, Dean of Students.
And
Hello, so Heather's there in the room and I'm virtual. So Heather, if you want to introduce yourself first and then I can go second, that'd be great.
Sure. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having us. I'm Heather Smith. I'm the Associate Dean of Students overseeing Disability Resource Services in the Dean of Students office. I work directly under Dr. Geraldo Villacruz.
Thanks, Heather. Hi, I may have met some of you. Some people may be new to me, so I appreciate you having us here and allow us being at this public forum. Again, my name's Geraldo Villacruz and I'm the Associate Vice President, Dean of Students. And I have a number of areas underneath me, and obviously the Dean of Students office is one of them. And so that's what we'll talk about today. But I wanted to provide a little bit of background about myself. So I'm a first-gen college student with UW Oshkosh. Ended up getting a master's in social work and then going into mental health, and then ended up getting a PhD in counseling psychology. I think the questions you are all asking about advising and this last one about career are important. And I think when students come to the college, just piggybacking off of Carrie FM, it is important to ask that question. Why are you here? How have you researched the career you're going into? Is this something that you've put a lot of thought on? If it isn't, we really try to get students to check in first with a career advisor when we're able to connect with them. The challenge is there's just not enough staff to be as supportive as we want to be. because we do think wraparound services work great. It's just hard to do it with a large population of students that we have here. So I just wanted to make that comment as well. I started at the college as a counselor in 2000. I've been here 25 years. And I transitioned into administration in 2011 and have been in my role since that time. So Heather, do you want to share a little bit about your background?
Yeah, so Geraldo and I are similar with our masters in social work. So I'm also a licensed clinical social worker. I started at a community college as well. So I have an associate of arts and then a bachelor's of psychology, then a master's in social work. Then during the pandemic, I was like, I'm not doing anything else. Why not go get another degree? So I went and got a master's in industrial organizational psychology. I started at Madison College in 2018 as a DRS specialist, so disability resource services specialist. And then I became the manager of that team about 3 years ago, I believe it is. And then about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I started working also with the Dean of Students office and have had a recent title change of Associate Dean. I'm also a first generation college student. Feel very, very, very strongly about community colleges and two-year colleges and the benefit of them. I was actually just part of a research study, I think last week, and he had given us an hour for our conversation, and it was about student success in two-year schools, and we ended up going maybe double time of that because it's just an area that most of us who work here feel very passionately about the benefits of a two-year school. So
We can go to the next slide. So again, we're going to go through a number of items today, and we won't go into depth about a lot of them because we want to leave some room for questions that people have. But at our office, we're really here to make sure that we're creating a community of care. We want to help students, staff, and faculty be effective in whatever they're doing. And it's important that we all have a safe environment where we can really focus in on our work. And that's one of our focuses, a big focus is making sure we help our students and partners that we have at the college really figure out what we can do to be successful in that way. The Dean of Students office is more than just conduct. We have a lot of different things that we do to try to support students. If you can go to the next slide. So one of the areas that we really tried to improve on is listening to the voice of students. When I first started in my role in 2011, there wasn't any formal way for a student to share their concerns or to complain. And so over the years, we developed a process for doing that. And we'll talk a little bit about that in a moment in the next slide. But I really want people to know that our office is here to listen and understand and help find solutions for people so that they can be successful. We also provide some coaching, and when possible, we connect people to resources that are helpful, like our conflict management services and our counseling. For people that don't know this, our counseling team provides conflict management services. So if you have an issue with a student, a staff member, a system, or whatever, you can have a conversation with our counselor. It'll be confidential, and they might help you look at different options to address the concerns that you're handling or you're dealing with. As we know here, basic needs is a big issue nationally, and here in Wisconsin with the shutdown, there's going to be significant changes to what our populations in Madison and Wisconsin are going to have access to. So we're aware that we try our best to work with the students to connect them to the various resources that are available to them. And then I am the Title IX ADA 504 coordinator for students and guests at the college. I have a counterpart, Lisa Muchka, who is the same title for employees and our contractors. But we have processes in place. We'll go through and we'll share with you where they're located. Because we really think it's important for leaders in the student senate and elsewhere to be able to help others when they come to you, because I know that they come to you, students come to you with concerns and or an issue, and the more you know about what's available, the better it will be for us to connect students to the right department or area. And then we do try to do promotional activities. I don't know if you've seen Protect a Pack messages come out in the various forums, whether it's through Vizio or through the website. But we're trying to have a deeper focus on prevention before things get worse. We want to be able to look at how can we improve situations and how can we reach people where they're at. Okay, the next slide. And I didn't understand what you said. So could I make the switch myself? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm putting out stuff. One of our members
Okay.
can't see the presentation, so we're working on that behind the scenes, so. not a problem.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
That
you'll get a copy of the presentation. So,
is also true, yes.
so the first thing I want to touch base on is their student concerns and complaint process. I'm a believer that one of the biggest challenges that we have with conflict is people tend to be conflict avoidant or don't know how to have a conversation in a constructive way with somebody that they're struggling with. There might be some power dynamics, right? If you have an instructor and you're having a challenge with an instructor, and you may feel based on past experience, confidence to be able to have those conversations, or be hesitant to do that. And so again, conflict management service is there for you to consult with you and look at your options. We always try to empower our students to really do what they need to do to advocate themselves. We also know that that's challenging, so counselors can also look at different options. Sometimes we do informal mediations or informal dialogue conversations, which are not mediations, but trying to get the conversation happening between individuals, because that's where the solutions lie. And we also provide different options of where you can go if things aren't working the way you want it to go. Generally, we like to get our concerns or complaints from students through our online form, because you can be very detailed about what's happening, what you've done, what you'd like to see happen. And then one of our case managers, which we have two of them, Sam and Rachel, would reach out to you by phone, email, video conference to better understand your situation and how we can best support you. With instructor complaints, we tend to forward them on to the supervising administrative person, which is generally associate dean or dean of a school. If it's related to a system or a process, like there's something that you had a hard time with bookstore rental, we would refer you to the bookstore. Similar with financial aid or anything like that. If students struggle with that, with maybe not getting the information they need, they can always come back and talk to us, and our case managers do check in to see where students are at throughout the process. With the concerns and complaints, we also get appeals for tuition reimbursement, and so that gets sent to a different process, and that takes longer bit of time, and we explain that to students. If somebody's struggling and they need to get a refund. And so the link to our website is there in the PowerPoint that you'll get, and so if you click on it, you'll be able to see where that's located. And then what our whole process looks like. Okay, now we can move to the next one. So harassment, discrimination, Title IX. As we know, with the administrations that are in power, every 4 years we get changes in who is leading the country, and when those changes happen, there tends to be changes in statutes or laws that impact us at the college. And for Title IX, there was some changes in how we are able to address issues of harassment in Title IX. And I won't go into detail, but There's a lot of information on our website. If you have experienced something or know a student who is experiencing something, please let us know. There's contact information that you'll find on our website, both phone and also email. But we want people to know when we become aware of something, we'll keep it private, but depending on the situation, if there's a concern around safety, not only for the individual, but for the college community, we might need to take another action, but we always have conversations with people about that and before we do anything, because we don't want to re-traumatize somebody who might be going through a challenge. We do process, and these are hard when you deal with complaints because there's always a couple different individuals involved, and so we really try to collect information necessary to be able to make a determination of what's the best course of action to take. Sometimes individuals disagree with that. Sometimes they, other times they do. We understand that it could be a challenge, but we really do try to understand the experience and do the best we can to help address what's coming through our doors. With discrimination, harassment, related to race, age, whether it's veteran status, whatever that might be, we have a separate process that we use for that. With any complaints that students bring our way, we always want them to be very specific. Instead of saying I was discriminated against, help me understand what's leading to that experience. What was done? Who was involved? What was said? What were the interactions? When, where, how? I always try to talk to students about pretend that there was a video camera monitoring these interactions, whether it's through an email, a chat, or in person, a phone call. The more information we have, the better we can help you go through our process, because it'll help us determine earlier on if this is something that might fall underneath one of our policies, or if it doesn't meet our criteria. We want to be as transparent as possible with students, and sometimes people are frustrated because they feel like we're not taking an action we need to take, and we totally understand that. But again, typically it's because the information we're gathering from individuals isn't detailed and doesn't provide the information for us to be able to say, yes, if this happened, it would have been discrimination. And so when we're not able to make that determination, we try to refer people to other areas. So if somebody's upset with an instructor and they filed a complaint and it doesn't meet our standard related to harassment, our definition of harassment, we would still refer it to the HR business partner or the supervisor to have a conversation. But before we do that, we would talk to you about it, because sometimes people don't want that to happen. Other times they do. So I could talk a lot more about this, but why don't we move to the next one, because I'm aware of the time. So we're all responsible here at the college for creating a safe environment where people have a sense of belonging and connection. What we say and what we do matters, and everybody comes to college with a different experience, right? And some of us have more challenges or trauma experiences than others when we come through. So it's important for all of us to have grace in our interactions with one another, and to understand. I always come from this positive intention. Sometimes people are communicating in a way that doesn't demonstrate that, but I do believe most people are really wanting to have a positive perspective on how they can move forward. But the emotional mind gets in the way. So I like to describe it as sometimes we make decisions or actions based on our emotions. Sometimes we are too rational in our thinking. And really what we want to do is to have a mindful, centered experience where we're in a position where we can actually step back, look at what's happening, and be able to communicate with one another. The biggest challenge around conflict is miscommunication, where people are making assumptions. But with our code of conduct, we have a set of rights and a set of responsibilities. I'm assuming, senators, you have looked at that and know where that's located. We did provide the link for it. What typically happens is we try to address issues if they come to our attention related to alleged violations of code of conduct at the lowest level possible, and to make sure that we're providing due process for whoever's the individual that's being identified as potentially violating our code of conduct. We do with due process, meaning that when a complaint comes our way where there might be a violation, the student is not found responsible until we go through the process and make a determination if they are. Okay, so that's important for people to understand. So if you are in a situation where one of your the students come up to you and talk to you about a situation related to what's happening to them, and if they're being charged with some form of potential violation, please know that we do research, gather background, try to make sure we understand the whole situation before we would conduct a formal hearing. But most times I try to address issues informally because, again, people are human. But we also are very serious that what we expect from people around behavior. The expectations that I have of one student, I have for all, and that's the same with our colleagues and our guests. And so I expect everybody to adhere to our codes of conduct, and our staff, faculty, administrators need to model that as well. You want to move to the next one, please? And this is my last slide. So I talked about Protect the Pack. It's a multidisciplinary team. So people from Student Life, the Health Wellness Center, Intercultural, through our, I think, what's the name again now? For Organizational Culture and Impact. It used to be Culture and Climate, as well as the health educator through HR and different people across the college. So we come together to see how we can develop programming throughout the academic year for awareness, but also prevention. And so you might see activities or campaigns across the college. October was, we had Sexual Assault Awareness Month in October, and we had some activities happening related to that. And we tend to call these months of action, and they're, each month there's a different focus. And so that's something that we try to promote and want people to be aware of and to engage with. I'm really excited because the next topic that we're going to talk about is a JED campus. And so Heather will speak to this, but we went through a whole process to figure out how can we improve our response and resources for mental health, substance misuse, and suicide prevention in our college community. And so we applied for well, we sent out a referendum to see if there's any vendors in the nation that could help us with that. And so we were able to contract with the JED Foundation. Hopefully you're aware of them. And their 4-year JED campus framework. And so we just started it in the fall, and I'll let Heather speak further about that.
And Geraldo, I don't know if you can see, there's a lot of heads shaking up and down that they are aware of the JED campus. So that's very, very exciting. So just to give you a little bit more context of it in relation to mental health. So that is kind of the purpose of the JED campus collaboration. As Geraldo mentioned in one of the slides, we'll go into it. It's a 4-year collaboration with this JED Foundation. It's all based on expert support, evidence-based best practices, and data-driven guidance to decrease suicide, to prevent suicide in students at the college level, and to increase supports for mental health, increase how folks are doing at the campus. You can go to the next slide. So this is the JED Foundation's mission and their vision. Again, they just want to protect emotional health and prevent suicide for our nation's teens and adults. They envision a future where everyone is equipped to navigate mental health challenges. And I don't know if many of you have been here for a few years. We are, and you can go to the next slide. We're going to talk about this right now is the Healthy Mind Survey. Yes, head shaking. Okay, so we only have a few more days left on that. It's closing on November 3rd. This is the first part of year one. So right now we're in year one. Our team, Geraldo spearheaded it, was responsible for a baseline assessment survey for our school. It was like.
And we have 20 individuals across the college from different departments, and we have 2 students. One is a senator here, Ari, that's part of that task force.
And it was a ton of work, so that was the first piece of it. Geraldo just submitted it this morning, actually. So lots of people contributed to it. Basically, it lets the JED Foundation folks know where we are currently. So if you've been here a while, back to like 2020, we had done a Healthy Mind survey before, and we learned how folks were doing. When we used to present on that, I always used to say, now mind you, we all completed that survey in fall of 2020. So take it with a grain of salt, right? And I thought the next time we do this, it'll be a different story. And now I think when we report on the survey results, we're gonna go, now mind you, it was fall of 2025 and we're going to be dealing with this again. But in that survey from 2020, we learned folks are struggling. And that was not just Madison College, obviously that was nationwide. We have the fortunate privilege, we are able to compare the results to the 2020 survey. That will not be a part of the JED Foundation work. That will just be our internal data processing folks that will look at that. But so we're using that Healthy Mind survey. So if you have not completed it, please, 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 please get it done. This is literally, these 2 assessments are telling the JED Foundation folks how we're doing, what we have as resources, what we already have in place with the Protect the Pack stuff, with what our counseling teams do, with all of the other resources on campus, and then with what we've got, how the students are doing. So we want the highest turnout humanly possible, so that way we know we've got a good representation of how folks are actually doing. So if you haven't done it, spread the
real
word.
quick, Heather, real quick, so
Yeah.
related to this, the JED Foundation started with their focus on suicide because the founders lost one of their children to suicide, and they didn't want that other families to experience it. Since the beginning, and when they developed the JED campus, it expanded to mental health and looking at substance abuse or misuse. It also expanded to look at social connectedness, belonging, how people experience the different aspects of a college. And so when we talk about Healthy Minds, when you complete the survey, it's going to talk about a lot of different things. And that's something I want people to be aware of if they haven't completed it yet.
Yeah. So in completing it, you will be entered into a drawing. So there is a little bit of an incentive for folks to do it. So we really encourage you to get it done. That is our first semester of year one. At the, in like February, I think it is. In February, the JED Foundation folks are gonna come here and they're gonna look at all of our data from the baseline assessment and the Healthy Mind survey. They're gonna come and do a site visit with us and give us some recommendations. So then in years 2 and 3, we're gonna start implementing their recommendations and their suggestions for us. And then at the end of year 4, we're gonna do that Healthy Mind survey again. And I'm assuming a similar assessment, not baseline, because it will be not baseline, right? But to see how did their recommendations, how did the new strategies, our new campaigns, all of that, how did that go? So again, spread the word, because really like this can impact what we do for the next 4 years. Cole, I know you had said we have 30 minutes, so I want to be respectful of that. Do you think it would be better if I came back and talked about DRS at a different time? Because I've got another like 10 slides or something like that on DRS.
Good question. What are we at time?
We got 5 on time. But
Okay.
if you wanted more time, we could,
Yes. So how this process can work is we can continue with the next 5 minutes. And then if you're just like, I still got some stuff that we can cover. If it's, let's say, I'll be honest, if it's like 10 minutes or less,
Yeah.
Someone within Senate can motion to extend
Okay.
the time period for an additional 10 minutes. So it's entirely up to you if you believe you have the time and you want to continue forward with it.
Continue on. All right.
Okay.
All right, next slide. And that's the Healthy Mind Study. And again, you have until the 3rd, November 3rd. You can go next. That's our information for the Dean of Students Office. We have obviously Dr. Geraldo Villacruz, myself, Rachel Zisman is our Senior Case Manager, Sam Albrecht-Weezy is our Case Manager. Some of you may know him because he used to be an academic success coach over in the RISE program before he came to us. And then we have Mackenzie Rasmussen, who's our new intake and admin person. We'll save questions for the end, so go ahead to the next one.
Okay.
So then this is our Disability Resource Services team. We have myself, we have a TBD right now, a person left our team, so we're hiring currently for a student support specialist. That person was responsible for alt media stuff. If any of you are connected to our team, you may know these folks. We've got Claire Miller, Jada Nyankson, Kevin Carini, Mary Cartier, Anna Nicolai. Those are our core DRS specialists that meet with students to talk about accommodations. Jana Malden has become kind of the superstar, jack of all trades. She's officially our sign language interpreting coordinator. She also does sign language interpreting, and now she is also working as a DRS specialist. Steve Romanesco is the front-facing person of DRS, so he's the person that if you're just getting connected to us, he'll be reaching out to you. And then Dawn Ruthie has been here almost as long as Geraldo, and she's our sign language interpreter. And just so you know, all those folks cover the branch campuses, I think is the new word we're calling them, yes. So if anybody is at a branch campus, we can either meet virtually or we can come out and meet with you in person. We just need a little heads up on it. Okay, next slide. So the core of DRS services is the Americans with Disabilities Act. So just a quick little thing here is that the ADA defines an individual with a disability as a person who has a physical or mental impairment that substantially limits one or more major activities, a person who has a history or record of such an impairment, or a person who is perceived by others as having this impairment. I want to make it clear, if you've got a diagnosis, it's going to fall under the ADA. That wasn't always the case. When I started in disability services 15 years ago, there were things that were not covered under the ADA. As time went on, it was like, why the heck not? So they expanded it. It's really anything that's impacting you in the learning environment. If you aren't sure how or why something might impact you, reach out to us. Tell the people you're talking to reach out to us. There are times that we meet with a student and they're like, well, here's how it's coming out. This is what's happening. And then we say, well, there's not really an accommodation needed for that. It also might be program dependent. One easy example is a person with diabetes. If you are in all online classes, you don't have proctored tests, it's all asynchronous, you may need nothing. If you're in a class where you have a test at this time for 2 hours, no breaks allowed, you're sitting in the class, you probably need an accommodation, right? You may need to check your blood sugar, you may need to take something to eat or drink. Even if you're in a program that tests online, for example, nursing, that's still an accommodation just to have something to drink with you during your test. So again, if you're not sure, reach out to us so that way we can talk about whether or not there's something that would be needed. Next slide. So the foundation of our work. We create conditions that empower and support students with disabilities to reach their chosen learning goals. You will see we do not say to get a degree, to finish a program. Some folks do not have that as their goal, and we will still support that. We work with all students, whether it's a degree-seeking class, if it's a continuing ed credit, anything like that. We work together with faculty and campus partners to provide an accessible and supportive learning environment. We provide support services and accommodations for all enrolled students at any college that have documented disabilities. One thing I also like to usually point out, even if you're going on like a study abroad program, accommodations might still be applicable. We have a lot of students who think like, oh, I've got a lot going on, I don't know that I could do study abroad. We would absolutely support somebody in that environment. You can expect Madison College to be accessible and provide an individually designed accommodation plan and support for their educational goals. So this is just a quick process. I just said the other day, oh shoot, I needed to update this slide. I'm not great with slides, so I haven't updated it in the 6 days since I gave that last presentation. But so a student self-identifies. This, like Carrie was saying, you know, there's kind of a difference between the K-12 system and us. This is the biggest difference for folks. In K-12, the teacher comes and says, hey, Heather needs her accommodations, or your parent sets it up. At the K-12 level, the school is required by law to make sure that you've got whatever in place. That's not the case here. So if you're ever talking with a student who's brand new to school and they're like, oh, I'm sure it transferred over, I'm sure it carried over, we hear that a lot. It does not. It is not part of the educational record. There's no anything attached to your record, like your transcripts or anything that says they had an IEP or a 504. So the student has to self-identify. We have it on there that the student needs to provide documentation. Oh, do you need me to stop?
Yeah, that's okay. We were running a little over on time, but I would entertain a motion to extend the time. Motion made by Senator Crowder. Do you know how much time you want to enter it by?
10 minutes.
10 minutes entered.
Would that suffice?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can go fast. Listen up.
Motion made, seconded by Senator Larson. Opened up for discussion in person or in online. Seeing none, hearing none. Take a vote, unanimous consent. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Passed. Extended by 10 minutes. Please continue.
Okay, we say that the next step is providing documentation that we evaluate that. I want to make this very clear. You do not have to wait until you've got your documentation to start working with us. We will talk with you and see what we can provide without that documentation in place. We started that in the pandemic times where it was like, oh, great, I got a doctor appointment in 6 months. And so we know that it can take a while. So if you are someone who thinks that you need accommodations, but you don't have that documentation, get to us anyway. We're going to have that meeting with you. We're going to talk about accommodations, what you might need. We're going to develop an accommodation plan. And the piece that's missing is you then have to give your accommodation plan to your instructors. Again, that's different from the K-12 system. You are responsible for getting it to the instructors. We send it to no one. Go ahead. These are some common post-secondary accommodations. So testing accommodations, extended time, reduced distraction, having text-to-speech, using a calculator, scribe, some kind of note-taking options. We have, again, our sign language interpreters. That might include CART, which is live captioning. We have infrared or FM systems for folks who are hard of hearing. Preferential seating, not always necessary at the college level since many instructors don't use seating charts, but sometimes it is. Accessible media, closed captioning videos, electronic textbooks to have the textbooks read out loud if that's what you need. Sometimes it's just enlarged print, so it's a bigger font. We do have that Kurzweil 3000, which is the program that will read your textbooks out loud to you. There's also stuff built in to Brightspace you may have seen that just reads things for folks. That's actually not an accommodation. It's available to everybody, but many, many people miss it. So we want to make sure that everybody knows about it. Flexible attendance is an accommodation we can talk about, and ergonomic furniture. So if you're someone who needs like a sit-stand desk in a classroom, or maybe you've got some back issues and you need an ergonomic chair, we can provide things like that in the classroom as well. Next. Typically not allowed, modified curriculum, modified grading, notes on tests, retaking exams, extra time on assignments, and modified assignments. I go through them quickly because these are very common at the high school level, and one of the biggest frustrations that we have here with folks when they're coming, because it's very, very common in the K-12 to be able to take a test if they didn't do well on it, take 3 times and average the scores, or take the test as many times as you need to until you pass. This is one of the worst things that we hear. It breaks our hearts because students take that first test and they go, it's okay, I'll just retake it. And we're like, no, that's not a thing. So just know that those are not typically allowed, even though they were at the high school level. The difference, high school is putting accommodations in place to ensure success. They want to make sure you graduate. We are here to level the playing field and make sure that everyone has equal access to the learning environment. Next. Just want to touch briefly on temporary disabilities. So a temporary disability is a medical condition that substantially limits a major life activity. Same thing as what we said with the full ADA. Typically, it's expected to resolve within a short period, so like 6 to 12 weeks. based on the medical provider's assessment. Some easy examples include surgery recovery, significant injuries, severe concussions, short-term illnesses. You'll see that things like a cold, bronchitis, those are not included on there. That would not be considered a short-term disability. You broke your hand, you're not able to take notes. Absolutely makes sense, right? That's always the easiest go-to example. They get much more complicated than that, as you can imagine, but that's like the easiest example. So some common accommodations, assistance with note-taking, for example, the writing not being a thing, audio note-taking, audio recording, extra time on tests, maybe a scribe, because again, you've got difficulties with writing, or speech to text, breaks during classes. This is certainly not an exhaustive list. When you have that meeting with your DRS specialist, you would talk through what the needs are. Next. So we would need a letter from your doctor, from your medical provider. This is the one biggest difference from just the standard, I've got ADHD, help me get accommodations, because we need to understand what the limitations are and how long they're expected to last. So we need a description of how it affects the student, an explanation of the current functional limitations, the impacts of medication and other treatments on major life activities, and the expected recovery period. So how long those will last are based on the period of substantial limitation documented by your healthcare provider. I will say this is why it's really important to stay in good contact with your doctors. Do the follow-ups, because if we get documentation that says they should be good to go in 3 weeks, and then the student says, I'm not good to go, we need to understand what's going on and how much longer it's going to last. Next. What makes an accommodation reasonable? They must not fundamentally alter course requirements. That's the biggest reason why we can't do those modified assignments, modified tests. Again, those are really common in the high school level. We see a lot of IEPs that say things like, they will only have 2 multiple choice options instead of all 4. Or we only have multiple choice questions, no essays. Things like that, we just can't do at the college level because we can't alter any course requirements, objectives, or academic standards. So the goal is to provide access to the course. You still need to complete the assignments, have proficiency of the course objectives, adhere to the academic standards. And again, they're determined on a case-by-case basis, having that conversation with the students. One thing we do really need to emphasize is that accommodations are not retroactive. We often hear students say, well, I wanted to try it on my own first and see how I did. That's not working out well. Can I get my accommodations? I could have done better on that test. We can't go back and redo anything. So we can only put accommodations in place going forward. Next. And then we've got 1 whole minute for questions.
Yeah, a couple minutes.
Okay.
So, I would now open up the floor for any questions or comments for Heather Smith.
And Geraldo.
And Geraldo.
Yes.
And first question I call to Senator Rogers.
My question is for Geraldo. You're talking, I know that public safety allows students to come in and actually talk with them before filing a complaint when they have a concern to see what public safety can actually do for them. When it comes to making a complaint to the dean's office, is there any way where there can be an in-person meeting with someone within that service to figure out what can be done before they file the complaint?
Yeah, so that's something that can be done. Typically, what we like to start with is with the student going with their conflict management services through our counselor, because number one, it's confidential. Anything you say to them, they'll help you with options, give you weigh pros and cons, and which is different for us. Well, it'll be private, but I can never guarantee confidentiality depending on what's your concern. Because as I mentioned before, if it's something that not only impacts your safety, potential safety of that of the community, we might need to take some other actions. And that's possible. Again, we're a small area. When I first started, it was me, and then it was me and coordinator, and then it was one case manager, and then we were able to get 2, and then my go-getter, Heather, she's like a person with 100 batteries in her, jumped in to assist, and so we're able to do more And we are staffed. We were going through some problems with staffing. If you contact us and you're saying, I really don't want to file a complaint, I just want to talk about it more. Our case managers can also kind of hear what you're saying and let you know what are some options. Okay?
Okay. Vice President Ari Nichols, did you have a question?
No.
Any other questions, online or in person? Senator McRae?
Yes. Do we provide assistance in helping people apply for federal disabilities as well? Do you provide like liaison services?
I can take that one if you want, Geraldo.
Go ahead. Yep.
Yeah, so we don't typically have the ability to assist with that. When it comes to outside resources, we most often refer to 211, because if anybody hasn't contacted them, they're great. They can provide you with information, they can get you connected with any resource that you're looking for. That's the biggest piece, I would say, would be to connect with 211.
And ideal state would be for us to have staff that were focused on basic needs and helping people be able to complete whatever, what other kinds of applications, whether it's for SNAP or related to applying for Badger Care, anything like that. Just unfortunately, we just don't have the funds and the staffing, and in the community, there's services that provide that they're shutting down right now. So it's very hard, and I can understand the challenge if somebody needs that support and not having access to it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alice, you have something quick?
I can just tell John later.
Okay. Thank you very much, Rolla Cruz, thank you very much, Heather Smith, thank you for coming in, for informing us, and I do believe you guys, it's okay if we send you any questions or any comments that you have through email?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't hesitate to reach out to us if you have any questions or, want to talk about something, okay?
Quick comment, Senator Rogers?
Point of inquiry, those slides will be shared with us so we can get their contact info, right?
Yes, so everything will be uploaded to the SharePoint, but I'll make sure that with a lot of these, that the emails are provided some capacity. I know Geraldo's was, I don't know if yours was included on the email that
It's
said it
the
came
same
out,
one.
it's the same one.
Yeah, I sent
Yeah.
it last minute with a fix.
Okay, not a problem, so. all
So,
this should be-
yeah, and again, we're in the Student Success Center, right across from the cafeteria, so. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for
All right,
having.
All right, we will now move into our team building activity, Vice President Sergio.
Yes.
You have your team building activity in Teams?
Yes. Just gotta review it real quick. Okay, so I'm over here, squat. There, everybody should see me. So today I wanted to take some time to go around and get used to just complimenting one another. I feel like maybe giving each other compliments that are sincere would really help us out and be able to see maybe what we don't even realize or really don't think about. So to the person you write, try to think of a compliment. If you need time, we can always come back to you. But if anyone wants to go first.
A volunteer online.
Donovan?
You're muted, Donovan.
Yeah. What'd you say, Donovan? You're muted, buddy.
Can it be anything? I'm sorry.
It's okay. So essentially, we're just taking some extra time to get into the positive vibes and be able to compliment one another. So for people in person, you can go ahead and, so the person to your right will be thinking about a compliment. And we're just sharing compliments to one another.
Okay, I will start.
Go for it.
I like compliments. Ashley, you are very aspirational.
Thank you so much, John.
Yes.
You're welcome.
I'll go next then. Annette, I absolutely love how committed you are to Student Senate and all of the things you do. I see that you work hard all the time, and I think your personality just fits so well with it, with Senate.
Thank you. Can I model you?
Yeah, of course.
My person would be Corey. Corey, I really love how you've taken the helm of being a team development VP. I love how you are handling it. I love that we are doing these I don't want to call them icebreakers, but these activities that are helping us become a closer, more robust Senate. And I can easily see how, if something like this had been implemented in the future, we would have definitely benefited from it, so.
Absolutely. It means a lot to me. Thank you.
Oh, I thought you were gonna.
Oh, you want me to?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Quinn.
I'm not asking, but.
No, this is great, because the whole point of this is being able to think of a compliment. And sometimes we don't really get a chance to connect. So when we're in these joint meetings, we get to really think about, throw compliments to someone that you may not think about a lot. So Quinn, I don't think I've taken the time to really truly compliment you to your face. But I think that you're very, very well spoken. Every single time you come up with a question, or you're interacting with people, or giving your thoughts, you're very, very well spoken and eloquently spoken. And you really lead with your ideas in a way that it's respectful. You're aiming to have meaningful conversations, and I think that's very important. And I think being respectful whilst still allowing yourself to ask questions is really, really important. And I really aspire to have that skill. I aspire to really broaden that skill. So you're a great role model in that aspect, and I always look forward to seeing how you implement that skill whenever you're speaking to our public comments and such. I just really enjoy seeing you talking to people.
Okay. Thank you, Corey. We're giving compliments to the next person. So I had Ari's ready, but Jose, you really try to engage with each and every Senate member. I noticed that, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. It means a lot.
Yeah.
We know each other for quite a while, so I think you've developed a very good opinion of me with enough time.
Yeah.
We had English 1 first semester together. He's a very good writer.
Yeah.
So, compliment.
Yeah, right. Can I get Quinn's compliment as well, since we had it prepared? Not to be greedy.
I'll give you a second to figure it out. Wait, no, go ahead, go ahead. I appreciate that you're really excited to engage in conversation with Ari, whatever the topic, and it makes me excited to talk to you.
I would say you have charisma, and as they would say, you have that spaz. All right.
Thank This is great. I got two of them. Avery, you are the best helper I could ask for things. Whenever a project is started and someone needs assistance on it, I'm like, I know just the person to send them to. Whether that be Bethany needing help with research, whether that be with creating advertisements or just work in Senate, or sorry, not that, in public relations and Canva. You're always willing to do whatever I tell you, no matter how tedious and boring it is, and I really appreciate that.
All right. Do you want to give a compliment to Cole?
I admire how organized you are. To me, it seems like you're very organized. It makes me feel like I have my stuff organized.
You're doing great. You're doing great. Do I do somebody?
John?
John.
Get to do John.
Yeah.
Okay. John, I appreciate how committed you are to the students at Portage and how you want to make sure that they're not left behind or forgotten, that you want to make sure that they're also included in a lot of the decisions, not only we are making at the college. So I actually commend you for that.
Thank you.
Do you want me to help you with the rotation online?
Yes, please.
Okay, so,
Well done.
so I guess one thing I want to ask is if, are we going to pick the first person and they're going to give one to somebody else and have them do like their own rotation online?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so going through the list that I have here, we'll start with VP Burt. VP Burt would give the compliment to Senator Juarez, based on the ring I have here.
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, Senator Juarez. I just want to say, first off, I'm very impressed with your bravery. I'm also impressed with your willingness to be transparent. And with the amount of time that I've had to work with you, I see that there is a huge potential for being a strong leader in the academic institution. And I want to encourage you to continue on that path in sports, being an excellent leader.
Awesome.
Thank you, VP Bradley.
So Senator Juarez, you will provide a compliment to Senator Batuoka.
You are Senator Batuola. I may not seen you in person, but you are very committed to Student Senate and keep up the good work.
All right, thank you, Senator Juarez. Senator Batuoka, you will provide a compliment to Senator Sierra Brunner.
Thank you, Donovan. Sierra, I think that you have good thoughts and you're very well spoken. And you have really great thoughts during our team development meetings.
Thank you. Senator Sierra Brunner, you'll provide one to Senator Ayman Adam Sharafaddi.
Thank you, Dean. Damon, you are one amazing senator, and I'm so grateful that you're on Senate. You always have good thoughts, and you always are included in everything, and I'm so grateful to know you.
Senator Ayman, you provide a compliment to Senator Ida Wilmo.
Ida, you're very great individual, and you're doing pretty good by contributing to the Student Senate. And although I don't know like you in person, but I feel that you're very genuine, incredible individual. And that's it.
Thank you, Senator Sharafaddi. All right, and Senator Wilmo, you'll provide a compliment to VP Burt.
Yeah, about VP Bird. So I would like to say that I like your energy and your passion about the laws. It's very impressive. So we work together in the community. I always hear about the your ideas that you have, and it's like how can I say, it's inspirational.
Awesome. And that completes the online rotation.
Perfect, awesome. Well, yeah, no, I just wanted to do this activity again, just because we don't always get a chance to connect outside of GAs, but being able to sit by people you might not really think about, like obviously you would think, oh wow, that person is really dedicated, but you won't see it with their face. I mean, you might look at them as like awe and awe, but it really helps unify us by understanding that we have strengths and we have, you know, we get to celebrate them together. So being able to celebrate each other's strengths really allows us to be unified as a team. So just being able to take a little bit of additional time to share each other's strengths and celebrate them together really just makes my heart happy. So I really appreciate you guys taking the extra time today, and thank you so much.
Okay, we are going to go into our reports of officer, advisors, and standing committees. But before that, does anybody have anything they'd like to disclose or recuse themselves from? That would be the time. Seeing none, hearing none, in person or online, we will go right into the reports, and I'll start off with the Executive Council President's report. We did meet. We had some lengthy, good discussion, and we approved the agenda. And with that, I will hold all questions and comments. If you want to email or Teams them to me, well, we have to respect the time, and there's something we want to get to toward the end of the agenda. So with that, we will go to Finance Committee. Vice President Mattson.
Yeah, Finance Committee briefly discussed the budget, and I shared with them what the other executives might be spending money on coming up this year. We also oversaw one club funding request. That concludes my report.
Okay, thank you very much. And I'll also reiterate, if you have any questions or comments, just Teams or email Vice President Mattson. We will now move to Rules and Legislative Affairs Committee. Vice President Burke.
Good afternoon, team. We had our Rules Committee, President Villarreal and Advisor Kelly Ocrado were in attendance. We brought Bill 003 that I sent out today to a vote. It passed with a 2 yeas and 2 abstains, with some language we thought we would send back to the committee to revise. Also, just basically, I would also like to entertain to announce my resignation due to safety concerns on the committee. If you see something, say something in the report that was filed. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that report. It is noted. If anybody's any questions, comments, concerns, please email our Teams Vice President Burke. We will now move to Team Development Committee. Vice President Sertel.
Yeah, so we had a meeting this week, and I appreciate everybody that attended and was very, very patient with me throughout the week. But yeah, we had a meeting and discussed some more ideas regarding team building activities outside of GA meeting. Just seeing how we can go about that. We were discussing Ronald McDonald House, that foundation. We were discussing going to the River Food Pantry or attending any other food pantries in the area. And we do have a handful of campus activities, especially with all the holiday stuff coming up. And we also discussed table availability. I know with the bill just enacted recently regarding table availability, I did issue a when to meet link If you are not already on it, please go ahead and take the time to log in. There is a specific instructions so that you can follow and post your availability. But other than that, though, I think that is all that I can think of right now.
Thank you, Vice President Sertzel. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please just email our team's Vice President Sertzel. He is back in the office and he's back at some health, and we'll get back to you. Public Relations Committee, Vice President Ari Nichols.
Yeah, we just continued working on food pantry advertisements and working alongside the food pantries to ensure that they're able to support and increase use due to SNAP benefits not being available because of the government shutdown. And we will continue to work with them closely. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Vice President Ari Nichols. We appreciate that very much. We'll now move to our advisor, Cole, for his report.
Yeah, only report I have is just from the email that I sent out to you all regarding the issue in the conflicting information for the creation of bills or resolutions, just so into the future. That is my oversight, as previous Senates and previous documentations I was using cited incorrect information from our bylaws. And so today for the revote of resolution number 1 strictly falls to the fact that we have previous documentation that did not abide with the bylaws. We're now correcting it in all areas so that it does reflect what our bylaws are standing for, and we will move forward from there. So again, just want to reiterate that. And yeah, I have nothing else at this time.
Thank you, Advisor Cole. He's always open for comments or questions. If you should know how to reach him. If you don't know how to reach him, you can email him or Teams him. Reports from special and select committees. Student Activity Board, Vice President Mattson. Do you have a report for us?
Yes. SAB met and we did a fun little game learning parliamentary procedures. I'll note that Senator Sanjay won the prize. And I think senators did really well because we all have background in parliamentary procedure. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Vice President Mattson. Yes, we did stack to that good. All right. Textbook Affordability Committee, Senator Shafradin.
Unfortunately, I don't have a report for this.
Thank you. We will now go to Inclusion and Belonging Coordinator, Senator Bauer, who is absent.
Excused. Yep.
Excused. And we will now move to Public and Safety Advisory Committee, Vice President Burt.
No report.
Okay, thank you, Vice President Burt. We will now move to International Students Affairs Committee, Senator Sindar.
Excused.
Excused. We will skip over the Reedsburg.
Actually, is he? I don't think so.
He's not in here, so you can move past.
Yeah.
Options vacant. We will now move to Portage for Senator McRae's report.
Portage Campus, Senator McRae.
Hello, everybody. Set to deploy next week, early next week, is a survey. I'm developing a Portage campus specific questionnaire for them. And a special shout out to all of the Portage campus staff because they continually support all of us students and go above and beyond for us. We had pizza with President Byrne this week, which went great. And we are knocking down all these line items that we set out in Vision 2030. For Madison College, that's all I have for Portage campus.
Thank you, Senator McRae. Thank you for that report.
Thank you.
And Senator Bowers is excused. So now we will move to reports from College Assembly and Shared Governance. College Assembly is vacant right now. Or do you have a report for us, Vice President Mattson?
I still sit on College Assembly, though I've indicated that I'd like to switch to the vacant Facilities Planning and Investment Council. I do not have a report from College Assembly because we've not met since I last gave a report.
Thank you, Vice President Mattson. We will now move to Academic Council, Senator Batuga.
I have no new report. We have not met since my last report.
Thank you, Senator Batuga. We will now move to FPIC, Vice President Mattson.
Sorry, I have nothing to say on this.
Understood. We will now move to Finance Council, Senator Larson.
do have a report. So we met on the 17th and we continued discussing about creating an audit to monitor how many different kinds of duplicate softwares are around the college and working on making a survey to consolidate where we can kind of change those areas. I'm pretty sure that audit was finished and was handed off to IT for feedback. So, yeah, I think that's about it. My report.
Thank you, Senator Larson, for that report. We will now move to Information Technology Council, Senator McRae.
Yes, IT Council, we met on Monday, October 27th. And we made some major progress with the refresh program. We are almost there. We just proofreading the document. Lots and lots of pages, lots and lots of good work. And we keep it light. I got some team development things I want to share with you, Corey, a little later. And then secondly, I raised awareness on IT Council of another survey that I developed specifically for IT students, so I can audit that. I don't think it's been done yet, and the program is getting older, and I'd like to know what's going on, how we can better serve them on IT Council. That's all I have for now, until we meet next month.
Thank you very much, Senator McRae. We will now move to Students Affairs Council, Vice President Ari Nichols.
Yeah, so nothing from Student Affairs, and then you guys heard all about the JEDWORD group from the guy in charge himself, so just reiterating what he said. Fill out that survey, you can get some money out of it. And I can't because I'm 17, so do it for me, please. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Vice President Ari Nichols. And with that, that will wrap up all our reports. And we will now move into unfinished business, revote of resolution 001.
Well, you want to pull that up for me? Okay, perfect. Thank you. What's up, guys? So, sadly, Ash can't be here because apparently her calc professor is a mean guy and schedules meetings at very inopportune times. But you've all seen this, or at least a rough draft version of this. We have gone through and edited some of the language as well as gone through and did all those spelling checks that we had done. We just submitted the wrong document because we're bad at labeling. There's nothing really all that different from what you already heard about, again, besides for just what we've already said. I would, however, like to point out Annette Crowder. Thank you. You were very important in the reworking of this bill. And funnily enough, the second Ash saw your edits, she looked at them, she said, hey, I just did a quick skim through of them all. They all look really good. Are we okay with putting those in there? And I said, yeah, let's do it. And that's part of the reason we wanted to include it on there. I also want to thank Avery for signing on to this as soon as we learned that we needed more co-sponsors, for not even questioning it and just always giving me that rubber stamp that I was talking about earlier, as well as for Khan, who's also sadly not here right now. But after learning that he could sign on to the bill, he was very adamant to do so because this addresses issues he really likes. With that,
so you do have to do a read through of it.
We do have to do another read through? Oh, god damn it. Okay. I don't think I have a physical copy anywhere.
You can just, I mean, like I said, you can just read off of here.
Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so resolution, formal motion for Madison College Student Senate to promote safety, inclusion, and belonging for LGBTQ+ students across all Madison College campuses. Section 1, primary reasoning, language note. While Madison College officially refers to Reedsburg, Portage, Fort Atkinson, Watertown, Commercial Avenue, and Goodman South as branch campuses, this resolution affirms all locations are offered equal extensions of Madison College deserving consistent safety and inclusion policies. Whereas Section 1, student feedback gathered during collaborative tabling with Gender and Sexuality Alliance, GSA, revealed recurring concerns regarding the lack of consistent institutional support for LGBTQ+ students across Madison College campuses. Whereas Clause 2, some LGBTQ+ students have reported feeling unsafe on campus due to incidents of misgendering, lack of inclusive practices, and insufficient staff intervention when harm occurs. Whereas clause 3, 14% of respondents to the annual demographic information identified as LGBTQ+, demonstrating a significant population whose needs need to be addressed institutionally. Whereas clause 4, in previous years, student groups as well as student senate have requested the establishment of wellness zones, name subject to change. I called them calm rooms last time. We don't know what we're calling them yet. Whereas clause 5, Madison College currently lacks a comprehensive policy explicitly addressing the needs, rights, and safety of LGBTQ students. Whereas clause 6, Madison Equal Opportunity Ordinance protects LGBTQ students at metro campuses, yet there is no parallel policy ensuring consistent protections across all Madison College campuses. Scroll down for me, thank you. Whereas clause 7, the Madison College District Board has approved the proposal by Sylvia Ramirez to remodel a second floor restroom to be gender inclusive, reflecting progress that should be extended to other areas of inclusion. Section 2, commitments being enacted by Madison College Student Senate. 1, Student Senate urges Madison College to update its annual staff training courses to include the following components. A, staff are informed about appropriate college offices and personnel to refer students to for changing legal names and updating class roster or syllabi. B, staff and faculty be aware legal names may appear on rosters and try to reach out to students to hear what they want to be called. C, training on how to manage someone being misgendered in the classroom. Section 2, Part 2, Senate requests that staff members who wish to signal support for LGBTQ inclusion add a brief note or indicator in their student-facing course descriptions or classroom materials. Part 3, the Senate requests that enrollment services enable students to select which name, legal or chosen, appears on Madison College documentation, including ID cards and online systems. Part 4, the Senate emphasizes the need for accessible wellness zones, name subject to change, within the Truax campus. Open during campus hours, these spaces should be sensory-friendly, non-judgmental, and inclusive to all students. Part 5, the Senate calls upon Madison College to define hate speech in student and staff policies and establish clear procedures to protect LGBTQ students from harassment and bias-based incidents. Part 6, the Senate requests the development of a second equity and inclusion plan within the next academic year, prioritizing the support of LGBTQ students and addressing the increase in harassment and discrimination nationally and locally. Part 7, Senate recommends the Equal Opportunity Officer at Madison College collaborate directly with Stand Up Speak Out to address LGBTQ concerns. Part 8, the Senate affirms that pride flags shall be displayed in June in recognition of Pride Month and as a visible commitment to inclusion. Part 6, Senate requests that custodial staff ensure gender-neutral inclusive restrooms remain unlocked, available during campus hours, except during active cleaning. Part 10, the Senate supports and encourages the continued remodel of the second floor restrooms to ensure inclusive signage and facilities that reflect gender diversity. And finally, Part 11, the Senate directs all commitments outlined herein to be reviewed at the beginning of the fall 2026 semester to evaluate progress and next steps. Conclusion, upon passing, the Madison College Student Senate shall support and advocate for the implementation of all items in this resolution to advance safety, equality, and belonging for LGBTQ students across all Madison College campuses.
So now you can entertain a motion
I'd entertain a motion
to bring this to the floor.
to bring this to the floor. And motion is made by Senator Crowder. Seconded by Senator Larson.
Okay.
And now I open it up for discussion.
Yep. Any discussion, bring it forward.
Discussion being forced, Senator Crowder is recognized.
Very
Floor is yours.
brief. I'm wondering if we need to have upon the passage that we have Madison College and Student Senate, so that it's both of us. I should have put an "and" in there. So it's not just us.
Yes, so it's not just, it's the college and us reviewing it
Yes,
together.
there should have been an "and" in there. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, that's
my
fine.
error.
That's, I'm fine with that.
Okay, so that would be here.
Yeah.
You accept that?
Yes.
That's your verbiage, okay? Okay, so now, any other discussion?
Any other discussion
Okay.
in online? Yeah. Okay. With that, I would entertain a motion to bring it to the floor.
You would entertain a vote, and you can choose by doing unanimous consent, raise of hands, it's up to you.
Yeah.
Do a vote briefly.
Well, to bring it to the floor for discussion for it.
After that,
sorry.
yeah, after
Okay,
that,
you're
you're
good.
voting, yeah. I'll do a vote of unanimous consent
I am.
So, in 5, 4, 3.
Oh, okay. Okay, VP Burt says nay, so that would mean VP Burt has the floor as we enter back into discussion.
We will now enter back into discussion, and Vice President Burt Bradley, you are recognized.
Thank you, team. Was my email received today?
This is, Vice President Burt Bradley, this is a discussion of bringing the motion to the floor, the bill to the floor. This is, to vote the resolution to get it to the floor.
Correct. In my email, I said that there were some clerical errors that needed to go back. Is it going to go back to that committee?
I haven't seen anything, so give me 1 second, please allow me to review.
Thank you.
We'll just hold the line for the record state, so Advisor Cole can review that for you, Vice President Burt Bradley.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, so based upon the email that you have provided, so are you specifically citing the grammatical errors?
You're muted.
My deepest apologies. My microphone was muted. Yes, I did notice some grammatical errors. And so I made those notations in there. And so I was just curious if that was a part of bringing this into discussion.
Okay. All right. So so for the grammatical errors as itself, I'm reading from your email. So to go with the grammatical item 4, grammatical adjustment, period following the parenthetic. So let me go to this so that I can see. Give me 1 second, please.
Yes, please, just the grammatical information.
Nope, that's fine. That's what I'm getting to. So let me go to 4. Okay, so you're talking as the whereas statement number 4 here?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, so what VP Burt has brought forward is that the period should be after name subject to change.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you accept that?
Yes.
Okay, can you write that down just so that we have that? Thank you. All right, your second one, section 1, requires specific citation. All right, okay, so you're citing this, the Madison's Equal Opportunity Ordinance, and you're saying the citation. Can you clarify the citation that you're referencing? You muted yourself again, VP Burt, just so you know. All right.
My deepest apologies. That specific ordinance was the ordinance that I had cited in Bill 003.
Okay, so what you're requesting is that the specific ordinance, whatever I'll look back at it, you want that to be placed in this, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
Reason being point of reference so that those in the future understand that this is the governing authority.
Okay.
Yeah.
So regarding the remainder of this, these are not grammatical. These would be discussion points in terms of not wanting to bring this to the floor. So you do have the time right now to state those as rationale to, my assumption is to not bring this to the floor. Would that be correct?
That's correct. I'm the dissent.
Okay, so would you like to take the time currently to bring those, to raise those to the floor for reasons to not bring this to greater discussion?
Could we please table this till next time? Due to time constraints.
Table, okay, table.
Just the resolution 001 altogether.
Okay, so because the motion failed, technically, this is a secondary motion that can be opened. So a motion has been made by VP Burt to table the resolution until the next GA meeting. Now there must be a second.
Is there a second to Vice President Burt Bradley's motion to table Resolution 001
until the next
until
meeting?
the next meeting of the General Assembly, in person or online? Seconded by Senator McRae.
Yep.
Okay.
So now there would be a period of discussion?
Now there's a period of discussion, open up in person or online.
I guess I'll give my dissent to not do that.
We haven't gone to a vote yet, but you can dissent in
Yes.
the discussion, so you can go ahead and do that now.
No,
for the
just-
discussion.
just that.
Nichols, you are recognized.
No, I prefer if this continued.
Okay, understood. So then, with that being said, being that it sounds like that there will be dissent to this, you would move into a vote by hand or vote by roll call.
So we will now move into a vote by hand. So with that, with those online, you would raise your hand if you're voting yay
to
take this to discussion.
No, to table.
To table it, in Vice President Burt's motion, you're gonna vote yay.
Correct, so let's pause there for a second. So yes, if you are in favor of tabling this until the next meeting, please raise your hand now, online or in person. And we do need to keep count. Okay, so I have that. Let me stop sharing my screen quick, everybody, so I can see the folks online. For the folks that are online, can you use the raise hand feature on your screen? That just helps us to track it more. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4.
4 total.
Okay, so we have 4, 5. So there are 5 to table. Okay. Any others? I'm going to give 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now we will vote raise your hand nay if you do not wish to table this until the next meeting. You will go on. So everyone online, please drop your hands now. That way we won't double count. All those who are looking to not table this and move forward with this discussion today, please raise your hand now. In person, online, please raise your hand. VP Burt, your hand is still raised. Is it meant to be raised? No, you're all good. Appreciate it. So let's do the counts here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. We have 8, and then are there any abstentions? So everyone online, please drop your hands. Is anybody abstained from voting?
I'm sorry, I abstained.
You abstain? Okay. Okay. So the number one thing that we have to be clear on is, does this represent the total number of folks who are in attendance currently? Is that the total amount? So we have how many people in attendance? Because we do need everybody to vote upon these. We can't just skip forward. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have 14. Quinn, you have 14 people in attendance today?
Including those in attendance.
Okay, and what was our votes?
And we had 5, 8, 1.
They were 5. Is that 14? That's 14? All right.
Excuse me, team, it is 6:30 PM. Do we need to call for a motion to extend?
Well, hold on there.
Well, we have to process through this first motion, and then we can move on to the secondary motion. So as it stands right now, based upon the nays have it, is that correct? Based upon the count that has been taken? Okay, so the nays have it, so this will not be tabled until the next week. We now open this back to the floor of where we were just currently at.
And at that time, now we would entertain the motion to extend the time.
So yes, you entertain a motion to extend the time. Otherwise, the other thing for us to be clear on, and I'm telling you all this for parliamentary rationale, at 6:30, if you have to depart, you are allowed to depart. Our meeting can technically continue until we do not have quorum anymore. So if you need to depart as of right now, you have the ability to do so. Just to be clear about the 6:30 aspect. If you want to entertain a motion to extend, you can do that as well. But I just want to be clear with that in that aspect. And we have to be cognizant of if we have quorum or not, because quorum dictates if we can vote. So You all can make the motion to extend if you would like to.
I'd entertain a motion to extend the time. Motion made by Vice President Corey Sertzel, seconded by Senator Crowder. I'd open up now for discussion in person or online. Seeing none of, extend the time by?
10 minutes? Yeah.
Okay.
Extend the time by 10 minutes. I'd open it up for discussion. Hearing none, seeing none, we can take a vote in unanimous consent. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Vote has passed. The time has been extended by 10 minutes, and now we will get right back into it.
So we're back into it. So it's been read in. So now to continue this next, there has to be another motion and second to bring this to the floor.
Motion made by Senator Crowder, seconded by Vice President Ari Nichols.
Yes.
Open it up for discussion, in person or online. Seeing none, hearing none, we'll take a vote unanimous consent in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Passed. Resolution is passed. Now we can open it up.
Okay, so now we still are in a period of discussion. So now this is on the floor. So now this is where if somebody is going to say, I want this removed from the bill, anything like that, that is the current time we're in. If at any point there is no need for discussion, if you're not looking to move discussion, someone can move to end discussion and call for a vote by roll call. So to be clear with that.
With that, any discussion in person or online? I'd also entertain a motion.
No, you just end discussion. Someone just has to call to end discussion and go to a vote.
Yep.
I'm going to call it end discussion. Go to
Yep,
vote.
and go to a vote.
Vote by roll call.
Vote by roll call. Seconded by Vice President Corey Sertzel.
You don't have to vote on this. Yep, just letting you know. So it's been, yep, so now we would go straight into it. Yep. So there, no one is out here trying to say they wanted to continue discussion. It's been moved to end discussion and moved to a vote by roll call. Anything online?
Seeing none, hearing none online.
Okay, so now what we will do is we will enter into a vote by roll call. And I will turn it over to VP Mattson.
Okay. I'm going to begin now. Vote by roll call. Vice President Administration Finance Quinn Mattson. I vote yay. Yes. Vice President Legislative Affairs Bradley Burt.
Be abstained.
Burt is abstained. Okay, thank you. Vice President Team Development Corey Sertzel. Yay. Thank you. Vice President of Public Relations Ari Nichols.
Yay.
Thank you. Sanjay Jagadish abstains, I believe. Senator Annette Crowder.
Yay.
Senator Ashley Larson.
Yay.
Senator Nadine Batulka.
Yay.
Senator Ayman Adam Sharafadine.
Yes.
Senator Ash Rogers.
Yay.
Senator Donovan Juarez.
Yay.
Senator Abri Holti.
Yay.
Senator Ida Wilmo.
Yes.
Thank you. Senator Sierra Brunner.
Abstain.
Senator John McCray.
Okay.
Senator Furkan Sindar abstains. And Senator Bethany Bauer has also abstained. I have 5 abstains and 12 yays. Yes, and we are still at quorum at this time.
That means the resolution passes.
Resolution passes. And with that, I'd entertain a motion. Oh, well, let's go, let's just power through this. We still have a little bit of time. Do we have any new business? No new business known. Any non-business housekeeping? Hearing none, seeing none. We'll now move on to our announcements. Our next meeting will be on November 6th, 2025, in room C2455 at 4:30 p.m. And if you are available Wednesday night, we are going to be having pizza and movies at the Senate office. With that, I entertain a motion. To adjourn. Seconded by Senator Larson. Opened up for discussion, in person or online. Seeing none, hearing none, we'll take a vote, unanimous consent. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Motion passed. We adjourn. Thank you, everybody.